We talk about the AHL setup and answer some frequently asked questions. San Jose mutiny, unsuccessful, and NJD blows up. All that and more on this episode of the IOHL radio show. All right. Welcome to the IOHL radio show. I am your host, Sir Mike Knight. With me, as always, is Miss Ovechkin. Joining us today for the first time is Crazy Gamer. And you might notice that somebody is missing today. Red, unfortunately, is in the hospital. So I would like to ask all you IOHL skaters to wish him a speedy recovery. I don't want to go into details. We haven't gotten permission from Red to go into details, but please wish him well and hope he comes back soon. So let's move on to the first topic. Since we have him here, Crazy Gamer, you're the new owner of the New Jersey Devils after New Jersey blows the fuck up. They lose 2 games in a row, one of them to Boston, which is fucking terrible if I do say so myself as the owner of
The
Boston.
other one to Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. I don't know. Tampa Bay's handed us our asses a couple times, but
Oh yeah.
that's not really saying anything. Since we are one of the worst teams in the league. But anyway, so New Jersey Devils, you've got your work cut up for you out there. I heard there are a lot of people leaving. So I hope you stay with it, man. Stick with it. You know, stick with it. Anything to say about you owning New Jersey?
Well, honestly, it was pretty surprising to start with because it just went from total chaos all the way to, okay, you want to be owner of New Jersey Devils? And actually, sadly, to confirm, we have 3 players that are going to be moving. And ever since, it's not even been an hour yet, and I'm still getting swamped with trade offers and trade offers and trade offers. And like today, I just wish the day could get over so I could just do my work, take care of that, and actually just try and get the team on track so we could actually, as I can see, the team is in first place. I don't know if they're still going to be in first place after yesterday's stats put in, but hopefully I could come in and me and Dukas is going to be my AGM. We haven't found a GM yet. Like, I have my buddy in the background that you can't see right now. He's on the floor, but he actually offered to be a GM, but I still haven't got the chance to slip that by Tank. But right now I just want to concentrate on the roster and just see how that goes from there.
All right. So moving on, let's talk about another team. A semi-blow up, I guess. A mutiny in San Jose. Marge, what happened in San Jose?
I don't know. It seems to be a little coup going on there. I mean, there's lots of different sides to the stories. I mean, you can only focus on what you hear. Me being on staff, I hear some more things than other people do. But yeah, I guess a lot of players on San Jose weren't happy with the way Burns was Burns, Hurdle, Boyd, whatever you want to call him, was doing some trades, doing some waivers. You know, he had me even looking at some of the moves he was making and scratching my head a little bit. But San Jose was number one when all of this was going down, and anyways, they decided to, you know, kind of tell Burns that they didn't like the way he was doing things, so they wanted trade requests or they were going to leave or something. And it ended up being Pence took over the team for a little bit, and then he decided for whatever reason he couldn't hang, didn't want the responsibilities of taking over San Jose or doing whatever he needed to do, whatever happened there. And Burns, Hurdle, Boyd, whatever, is back to being the owner. So I don't know, San Jose. You need to work on your mutiny a little bit better there. I mean, if you're gonna do a mutiny, you gotta succeed. You gotta see it till the end there. So I don't
So,
know. We'll see.
while we're on the subject of San Jose, let's talk about the new hat trick in the IOHL.
All right. I mean, boy, just all over the place here this week. I mean, he's an owner, He's a player rep, and now he's a league official. He's going to be officially helping out with the AHL. You know, as you all know, we had a lot of skaters come in because UOHL crashed, and we had to do something with you guys. So you know, we created this AHL for you guys to play in, and AHL needs help because you know staff is already focused on NHL. All of our efforts making sure that that is you know properly up and running with stats and locker rooms and all that stuff. So Burns and Kidney Bean have been brought on as officials, and Burns has 3 titles to his name now. So he's making a nice little collection here in IOHL.
Let's talk a little bit about the AHL then, while we're on that subject. Rolling into these subjects. AHL, what do you got for us, Marge? How is this gonna work? How is it set up?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of questions. There's been a lot of confusions. You know, you got your 10 AHL teams with one Eastern affiliate and one Western NHL team affiliated. You have your 6 TC players from each one of those NHL teams that make up the AHL. And then you've got 6 drafted guys that the AHL just drafted this past Sunday. Everybody's going to get a chance to play. You might not get to play 3 games a week, but your AHL owner is going to try his best that anybody who is active and is serious is going to play. Now, a lot of people are calling the AHL, you know, not competitive or, you know, a joke or why should I even bother? But you guys do realize if you're in the AHL, right? The AHL is only going to be as successful as you make it. So if you take it seriously and you show up for your games and you're active with your owner, there's no reason it can't be as competitive as the NHL. So let's get that going. Let's, you know, your game starts Sunday, and I'm looking forward to see what kind of numbers people can put up in the AHL. So I think it'll be a good thing to get those people playing who maybe were on the fence about joining IOHL a little late, and maybe next season you'll sign up a little earlier.
I mean, I brought up a way to run the AHL. Let me just since we are an opinion show, I will just fucking throw it out there. Um, I do not agree with the way the AHL is being run. I see problems. I foresee problems. You know, I was the commissioner of the AHL when we first ran an AHL back in season 4. Um, and I foresee problems with the way that it's ran, just like it was run there. There, it was the same thing. 2 teams, their TCs down there, blah blah blah, all that horse shit. The way what I suggested is that everybody be randomized from the TCs into the AHL. Everybody on random teams. So six guys from New York Rangers be on 6 different teams.
We
You know,
actually had
and
thrown that idea out, sort of a you know, everybody gets picked to your you know, your TC, you have the NHL has a TC draft, and then we threw around the idea of an AHL has a completely different draft, and any player that was not drafted in the NHL could be drafted in the AHL. So you could have like an Anaheim TC player getting drafted to Syracuse, and then you could have a Pittsburgh TC player getting drafted to that same team, and you know you have your affiliates, but you know the time frame started getting shorter and shorter, and the mechanics started getting fuzzier and fuzzier, and honestly we just didn't have enough staff to
here,
put this in motion.
here's what this would eliminate, though. Okay, if we got New Jersey blowing up right now, right? New Jersey blowing up right now. Now he's got a bunch of TC players down there. What if he pulls all his TC players? What if he pulls them all of them gone?
Well,
Now, now,
that's why we gave the AHL the 6 players to draft, and then we're also still doing random assignments, so we're still going to replenish TCs.
and I understand that, but it would also give the AHL owners more freedom to make
Yeah,
their team. You
right.
know, they can make trades without having the approval of the NHL teams, right? Because nobody is affiliated with anybody. You know, so say my owner of my Rowdy of the Providence Bruins, right, could go and make a trade with Syracuse on his own, doesn't have to talk to me. You know, it's a guy affiliated with Boston with my team, and he doesn't have to say a goddamn thing to me.
Yeah, and
All
that's
of
exactly how I envisioned
just
it too.
the
It just, like I said, all of a sudden, AHL draft was in 3 days. AHL draft was in 5 days. AHL draft was, oh my
I
God, AHL draft is tomorrow. Like, we got
I
to
had
get
brought
this
this
figured
up
out.
to Tank. I had brought this up to Tank 2 weeks before the NHL draft.
I'm back.
Well,
I
let's
brought it up
just say
2 weeks
this.
before the NHL draft took
Let's
place.
just say this. For a long time, not all of staff was on board with even doing an AHL, period. And that delay and that hesitance caused some of the decisions that were made as they are today. So, is the AHL going to be perfect? Probably not. I think it has a good chance of giving those players who weren't drafted a chance to, if they want to be
I
committed,
I
then
agree.
they have a place to play. So,
I absolutely agree. There should be an AHL, but it shouldn't be run the way it's now. It's not. It's not gonna work. It's gonna tank just like the last time. Pun intended. Uh,
When was the last time we had a AHL? What season was that?
season 4.
My last season. Yep, I remember that. We
It
had
tanked.
problems with it at the beginning of the year.
Remember, the Chicago Wolves were fucking picked apart because Minnesota freaking dropped out.
Yeah, Minnesota, all their top players ended up leaving.
Hmm.
I
Yep.
remember that.
The AHL owners all complained that they had no control over their roster whatsoever. I mean, yeah, it's rough. But I digress. We are going to go into a new segment.
Ooh.
A new segment called
Ooh.
Crazy Rants.
Oh no.
Gamer.
You sure about this?
Let's do it. Crazy Rants.
You want me to say anything I got on my mind? I'm not bashing. I'm not
What's
bashing.
on your mind? Go for it.
What could I start with? Maybe I should start why the reason why I left why I never came back after season 4.
You know what grinds my gears?
You guys do not know why season 4 was not a good season for me. It started out, I actually got drafted by the New York Rangers in season 4. I don't know if they won the Stanley Cup or how they did. I think there was Lindros, Darso, and no, Boyd wasn't there at the time. And we were in first place. And Dallas was actually last place in the league. Had no chance of making the playoffs. And I just ended up one day saying, I want to trade. So then Tank, why do you want to trade? You're going to make the playoffs. I'm not having fun. So I actually basically told Tank, you trade me to Dallas or I'm not playing anymore. The Tank told me I could not do that. You're not allowed to choose where you go. I fought so hard in the end, I ended up on Dallas, the last place team in the league. I remember it was me straight up for Barrett 50 Cal. Barrett 50 Cal went to the Rangers, and I went to Dallas, and Barrett 50 Cal ended up getting waived and sent to the minors right after that. And I remember when I joined Dallas, we were in last place, and we actually ended up being 5 points at the end of making the playoffs. And that's where I met Boyd, actually. I actually gave Boyd his first ever IOHL point. So I'm known for the guy that begged to go from a first place team to a last place team. So that's why a lot of people are like, oh, look who's back. Well, yeah, I'm back. I can't swear on this, can I?
Yes.
yeah, you can.
Can I swear in French? Because tabarnak, j'en ai esti à dire. There's another thing that's on my mind. Why the hell does everybody make fun of Forza because of hair gel or protein shakes? Like, does it have to do with the fact that when he did the draft, he actually shakes a bunch of balls in a protein shake can that he actually took the stickers off so we wouldn't notice? Or one more thing that got me impressed when he did the draft. Ottawa, first overall pick. All you hear is Tank say, I don't remember who Ottawa's owner was, but he's jerking off right now. Next pick, like Forza would say, Boston. All you hear is Tank say, oh, shit. Yeah, we wonder why. But one thing I'm confused about, though, is why the hell would you trade your first overall pick? Why the hell would... See, that's why I'm a Habs fan. That's why I'm not an Ottawa Senators fan.
Fuck off.
I heard that. Fuck you. You sure you don't want me to get this guy in? He has a lot to say, too. What do you mean, boy? I have a lot to say. I have a lot on my mind, but there's certain things I cannot say because I don't want to get risk being suspended, blacklisted, or shutting this down.
Yeah,
So,
you've got Boston and you got Pittsburgh. So speak away because we need the points.
Boston, Pittsburgh. Oh wait, if you want, I can actually make a phone call right now and actually make it go all bazoos. I can actually call one of the IOHL's favorite sons. I could actually call George Bad Luck right now and see what he would have to say about this. But sadly, I'm not allowed to bring George in here because if I bring George in here, this is gonna go from a radio show to a friggin' wanted list. Yeah, I want him to. You're fucking crazy. It's like simple. There's one thing you cannot do. First of all, you cannot insult commissioners. You cannot insult Toronto in front of him, because if you insult commissioners, Toronto, or alcohol, he's gonna go off. I used to hate George. I still do, but he's fun to play with. He beats computers. But one thing is for damn sure is that, speaking of San Jose, where can I start? The hat trick, or Penn's stepping down after not even 24 hours. Like, don't step up to the plate if you're going to strike out 24 hours later. It's as simple as that. I haven't been in this league in, season 4, 5, 6. How many seasons is that since 4? 3 or 2?
3 international.
International.
How many months is that? 9. Yeah, 9 months. Thank you. I just got NHL 15 on the Xbox One about 2 weeks ago because I have Facebook messages, and I will be gladly to take pictures of those, from Tank begging me to come back to the league. He sent me the messages on Facebook. I know, because then he sent me a picture of his food. And I do not know what he was eating. But honestly, if San Jose, like what I saw in San Jose, if every team, like San Jose was going to fall apart because everybody wasn't happy about what the trades Burns was doing, and God knows what the hell Burns was doing. I don't know what he was doing.
I don't think Burns knew what he was doing.
I don't think a lot of people knew what he was doing. But if every team in the IOHL could get away with San Jose almost got away with, that's not going to be allowed, because we're going to have a lot of teams that are not going to be happy with their owners, and they're going to try and do anything to get their owners to step down. And we had living proof. Somebody tried to make Burns step down, and how can I say this? Karma's a bitch. Right. Wait, I still got a lot more, but this radio show.
We'll save it for another show. All right. Yeah. Moving on.
Never a dull moment in the IOHL.
We're going to break into one question that I always ask. Give me one team from the East and one team from the West that you think are going to make a playoff run. All right, Mard, same question.
All right, from the East, I got to go with Washington. They had a really solid week last week. I hear that they're going to make some moves over the weekend. That'll just make them more of a contender. So I'm going to go with Washington. And then from the West, San Jose, they were in first place. They have a little bit of a fall. But I see San Jose keeping their playoff run going. They might not be at the top, but I think San Jose will. I think Burns will get it back under control. We'll see. He's crazy like that. So I'll go with San Jose.
All right. And I am going to go with New York. I ain't going with Boston. I never picked my own team, even if I was doing well.
Guess it's a good thing you don't have to worry about that.
Right. 3-12-2?
Yeah. See, I'm going to go with...
All you have to do, Mike, is not be third, or you just have to be third worst. That's it.
Yeah.
Third worst.
Yeah, right now, I'm worst. So I'm going to go with... I'm going to go with New York and Nashville. New York
choices.
and Nashville.
Who you got over there, Crazy Gamer?
Honestly, I take back my previous statement. For some reason, the cameras just froze.
You're like really dark.
Yeah, I know. Because, okay, there's one screen that Mars game, and there's Boston. Honestly, I'll take back my previous statement. I'm actually going to say Florida for the East, and I'm going to say St. Louis for the West.
All right. All right. All right. That's all the time we have for this show. As always,
Yeah.
leave a comment down below. Like us on YouTube or follow us however the fuck you do it on YouTube. I'm not a tech savvy guy. All right. That's why I have other people edit it for me.
Selfie.
Yeah. Follow us on fucking whatever. We got a Twitter feed. We got all that shit. Send us your questions. We need our videos on WhatsApp. We need those top 5 plays. Send them to us. All right. And we also have a new sponsor. 2 Guys, 1 Hobby. It's this online sports memorabilia shop. You can see the link on the main page. If you just scroll down, they like to put it at the bottom. So they are also sponsoring this radio show, which means that I am sponsoring this radio show, since it is my business. But go ahead and check out the link. If you got any cards that you're looking for, hit me up. I'm not going to do too much advertising here, but as always, stay classy, IOHL.
Jump.
We usually dog on somebody in the IOHL or multiple people in the IOHL.
Slayer.
First tank was Joffrey, then we decided Forza should be Joffrey because he's just a whiny little biatch.
What are you drinking?
Surge.
What's that?
What?
You don't know what?
Sorry, ma'am. I'm in Canada, Quebec. Give me a break, okay?
You not have a childhood?
I could always get that Cartman thing when he freaking says big ass. Hey, you shush in the back. You stay in the dark.
French isn't allowed.
Oh, come on. Everybody loves the word tabarnak or poutine.
And,
Hashtag drama alert.
Also, on a more serious note, IOHL, you know, our founder's been going through a little bit of a difficult time. He had a personal family loss a couple weeks ago, or, you know, a little while back. And we're actually going to put a link on the main page. I'm going to put a link in the bottom, in the description of this video. It's for suicide prevention. If you know anybody, or if you've been affected by suicide, you know, or if you just want to show your support, we're going to put a link towards the suicide prevention. I believe it's the hotline, or, you know, the foundation. And so, you know, show some love for your founder, and just, you know, let's show some solidarity. So thank you for that.